Business end of Rugby World Cup 2019 truly upon us, and tomorrow it's the mouth-watering clash before the big game that we're all looking forward to. Springboks on Sunday. We got Mnikelo Madala, our in-house, editor right here at Sports Live on SABC News. Mnikelo, thank you very much for joining us. You watch that clip with Sia. I mean, it brings back, I mean, the intro as well, we spoke about the fact that it's brought a nation together. But when you really think of it, what it means for Siya Kolisi on Sunday to lead out the Springboks, first black African captain, and the road and the journeys that he's travelled.
I think it's not just Siya that it means a lot to. I think it means a lot to the black population of this country to have a guy from the dusty streets of Zwide, as the package says, to lead the Springboks at a World Cup playoff match. We've watched the Springboks, I think, from '95 when they won the World Cup. And as much as they brought the nation together, having a black captain just transforms that feeling from '95 into something that I think more people can relate to. So from that sense, it's just an amazing journey that he's walking with the Springboks.
And taking nothing away, I mean, of course, from the previous generations of Rugby World Cups, you know, whether it's the '95 team or 2007 team, they won the World Cup. There's that special thing about this particular team, in particular when you're speaking about that, a captain that has somehow changed a lot of mindsets, if you want to call it that, because a huge majority of the not white population, black population in South Africa would rather support a New Zealand or in England or anyone against the Springboks. But now with that man on our screens, a man is one of ours, so we're changing allegiance, so to speak.
Correct. I mean, if you watch any matches that the All Blacks have played in the country, in your Cape Town or Port Elizabeth, you see a vast majority of the fans in the stands, local fans, in black jerseys. So hopefully with seeing this guy leading the nation's rugby team, starts to shift that part of the population to start getting behind the Springboks. And we need that.
We'll get to Sunday and the Springboks. Let's just start off tomorrow. It's crunch time. You got New Zealand versus Ireland, then you got England versus Australia, the first of the quarterfinal matches. Let's start with the English before you get to Kiwis, because I know you got a soft heart for the New Zealanders. England, Australia. That one's I think for me it's probably the match of the weekend, a cracker, because any one of those teams, World Cup winners in both both camps, it's a tough one, isn't it?
I'm not sure it's going to be tough. Australia have blown hot and cold at this World Cup.
But so have England, to be fair. I mean, they've scraped through. Both these teams have never been, I think, compelling. They've literally scraped through. This could be the one big match from both sides.
Listen, Eddie Jones has got a clean record at this World Cup. Besides the match that was rained out, he's going in there with no losses. Australia, on the other hand, lost to Wales. And they scraped through against Fiji. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough one. I mean, Michael Cheika is fun to watch in the coach's box, but I think he's going to be crying after tomorrow.
You think so?
I do think so.
I think, once again, like I'm saying, Australia have a big one in them. I'm like, they have scraped through. They've really got a big one as far as this match is concerned. Be that as it may, whoever gets out or wins this match, what do you think their chances are of walking through, or you waiting to see what the performance is like first?
I don't think Australia have settled on a starting 15. The second stringers that came on in the last match seem to have done better than the guys that went into the World Cup as the first 15. Yeah. So you wait to see what team's going to turn out tomorrow.
Yeah, and then, of course, England going in with a young, teenager at middle of the park?
Look, that England team, they play to win. Yeah. There's not a lot of glamour about them, but they get the work done. They've got generals in the midfield. They've got, what's his face? They've got two fly-offs at 10 and 12. And those two control the match for them. that, of course, coming off a forward pack that can dominate anyone on any given day.
Yeah, in fact, you make a good point that forward pack, look, it's not the forward pack of old where England, you're always scared of it, but I think times have changed. You've got more mobile forwards now than you used to have. Let's move on to the one I think you're looking forward to. I'm saying Ireland have got the beating of New Zealand, and I'm sure you're going to say no.
Look, Ireland have come up good against New Zealand of late. I mean, if you look at Steve Hansen's record as a coach,
yeah.
Besides the British-Irish Lions, his record against Ireland in terms of percentages is the lowest among all the nations that they play against. So Ireland have got the wood on him as it stands, but Ireland go into this match with a bit of a limp with the suspension of Bandiaki. So that might be
That was a horrible call, though. That was a horrible call for the red card. What do you think?
It's the rules. You go high, you go sit.
Hey, we need more time to discuss that one. Wales, France, I think that's one we can agree. That's probably the most open-ended match. Should be a walk in the park for Wales. What do you think?
I think that's the trickiest match of the weekend.
Is it?
Because France in knockout rugby at the World Cup on any given day can take anyone.
That's New Zealand.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, they've also not put their best foot forward thus far. But knowing France and knowing what they've done in the past, you can never, ever write them off.
Big one, South Africa versus Japan. The difficulty with that one is that we go into this match as South Africa, and when we go into this match, we expected to walk it, especially after that warm-up match that we had, 47 or 49, I think, to 7 victory. But this Brighton thing, 2015, is always in the back of the mind. And frankly, shouldn't we be worried about Japan?
I think Brighton was a long time ago. Even the warm-up match you talk about was a long time ago. Japan at this World Cup they've just come out and they've blazed everyone. Like the match you talk, the warm-up match you talk about. I mean, it seemed like they were just maybe getting us to not even count them among the team that are going to get out of the group. But the rugby they've played and the rugby they continue to play at this World Cup, I wouldn't be naive enough to say South Africa's going to walk it.
Because I mean, that's the one thing that I've been asking myself. Are we kidding ourselves to think that Japan is expected to be a walkover? Fair enough. The winning margins have been close. They beat Ireland 19-12. They beat Samoa 38-19, and then pipped the Scots 28-21. So it has been huge margins of victory. But like Australia, they just went there to get the job done. And are they flying a good, wave right now? And they could be more dangerous than we actually think.
I think the match against Scotland for me gave me a glimpse into what they might be able to do against the Springboks. I mean, in the first half especially, they matched the Scots up front.
Yeah.
And then the back line is just gas. They ran everyone off their feet.
And as far as the Springboks are concerned, I know we've run out of time. As far as the Springboks are concerned, a 6-2 split on the bench, but you're not too concerned about that. It's a good mix, only 2 changes from the previous match. Basically, the team that beat Italy thrashed them 60-odd points. Do you think Rassi's, there's nothing you can do right now?
I think the 6-2 split gives us a clue of what Rassi is planning to do on Sunday.
Yeah.
He's going to suffocate the forwards. He's going to maul them and rug them off the park.
Yeah.
And he's going to try and starve the backline of ball as much as possible.
Yeah, well, Mnikelo, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. We'll have you again, hopefully Sunday.